guys, it's me again. And welcome to another episode of the Just Angie Takeover. So I hope you've really been enjoying the last couple of episodes. Well, I know I have. And if you haven't watched any of them, please just go back and watch. I'm so sure you're going to learn a thing or two. And you're going to be blessed by what the content that we've released. So today I have some interesting gentlemen with me. I know we don't bring along men so much, but I thought it was good to just bring them along and have a conversation that I'll tell you about now. But I'd like them to introduce themselves first. And before I do that, I'm your host, Cayte Ndung'u, and karibuni to today's episode. So we'll start on my far right. Please introduce yourself.
Wow, where do I start with my many things that I do? But anyways, my name is Edwin Mutoro officially. I am a creative entrepreneur. Basically, I run businesses in the creative space. I start one, I thrives, move on to the next one, thrives, move on to the next one, focusing on events, focusing on film, focusing on emceeing and gigs. So basically that's it. Apart from many other things that I do.
Karibu sana Edu.
Thank you.
Next on my near left.
See, I'm not like Edu. I haven't done very many things.
Yeah.
But I've done one thing for a very long time. So my name is Richard Musyoki. I'm an audio enthusiast. Basically, I'm a sound engineer, basically. Just using good words.
Watu ambao walienda shule.
Audio, what did you say?
Audio enthusiast.
Hey, Richie.
Okay,
just
so
use sound engineer.
Bro, like what you do is just
I know, si machina za kututishia audio.
just ensure that our audio is clean.
What?
Okay, so I'm a sound engineer. I do live sound, SFX for animation, technical directing for events, and my father as well. Yeah, that's pretty much me.
Hey, you almost forgot the most important one.
Yeah.
Husband as well?
Wait, husband. That comes with being a father, you know.
Yeah.
Some people are fathers, but not husbands.
Oh, wait, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay,
karibu sana Richie and Edu, and thank you for gracing us today with your presence. And I just like us to dive into the conversation of the creative industry, all things creative business, events, film, and I think this stems from I myself also being a creative, and we've also seen a lot of things happening within the creative space. So I feel like it's a good time to have this conversation and really just talk about how can we develop more the creative industry, how can we engage more, how can we do more, especially in Kenya, because manze, when I see Rwanda, I'm just like, what? They're like 10 years ahead of us, but anyway, we'll get there. So anyway, let's just start with the basics. How did you find yourself in the creative industry? Now we can start with Richie.
I got myself into the creative industry in campus. I just got introduced into audio in campus actually. So I started doing that for a couple of years, and then after graduation, there's that. What do you call this space? There's this space that you don't have work.
The transition.
That transition.
You're just
So
tarmacking.
That wasn't even tarmacking. That was tarmacking and living in that space. Because 5 years is not your time.
What? You tarmacked for 5 years?
For 5 years, yeah.
Hey.
So I found myself in church, to which I really appreciate that time. So I grew really immensely in church, in my craft. And then I gravitated from there. Actually worked with Edu in a company
Mm.
after that, yeah. So I found myself in gravitating towards the event industry in terms of live events in campus. And then from there, I should just say I was God led.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love that. So, were you specifically just doing audio, like even in this starting years?
Actually, no. Actually, we started a company with a couple of friends, still running up to date. I used to do photography and video as well.
You've been a photographer?
Yeah, I was a photographer. I did weddings.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, I shot weddings. I did a documentary. I did a film that was actually won an award in this Machakos Film Festival. Was it called
Oh,
something?
wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually did that. I did the SFX for that as well. Yeah, I did a couple of things, but I think I honed my skill during that era. Just decided I just want to do audio because I really hated doing weddings. Oh my God.
Why?
It's
the same thing.
For photography, like for events, like I'm here to shoot this person. But for weddings, no one tells you what to shoot. But after 3-4 days, did you even shoot Uncle Maura? Who showed me who Uncle Maura was? Who's Uncle Maura? I don't know him. All of a sudden, you have no pictures of Uncle Maura. So
you're not given a brief.
Yeah, no, I wasn't like the top tier.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of weddings, yeah.
So no brief for you,
no brief. Because I remember we used to do like meetings, debriefs after. Then one day we were like, we just pray that one day we'll just stop doing weddings. And I think God came through. We stopped doing weddings. Yeah. So I did that for a while. Yeah. And then I just gravitated towards audio.
Okay.
Yeah, completely.
So you started in photography and then now transitioned to audio and live events.
Yes.
Okay. So briefly explain to us what SFX is.
SFX is sound effects for like sound effects. So just SFX.
So like maybe we are watching a movie and then we watch someone fighting.
Yes,
those sounds.
Yes, those sounds. We actually surprised those are not even like punch sounds. They're weird sounds. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Okay, Sawa. Edu,
Wow.
how did you find yourself in events or in the creative space?
There's something that happens in the high school scene that is called Drama Fest and Music Fest. So that's where everything sort of came from.
Yeah.
I wasn't really active in those setups, but in my third year, I was actually training. Form 3.
Oh, not third year, Form 3. Yeah.
Form 3. I was actually training Form 2s how to do what we call narratives. The narratives for in the village of na. Yeah, so
yeah,
and then I don't know why narratives were always contextualized from the western side of Kenya.
You have emotion.
It always had to be a lawyer background in the village of Namlondo, where Wafula was born.
Yeah,
and then the energy. That's where it started. I didn't know I was going to get into the events industry or the creative space after that. But then after finishing high school, joined campus, there was that innate desire for me to be on stage. Like, I just want to be on stage, doing something on stage. So I tried, I joined a drama team back in campus. They were doing set books, traveling theater.
You did set books.
I did set books, my friend.
Which set books did you do?
I can't remember. Bro.
This is funny. Okay, just
like I can't imagine him.
I know. Which set book did you do?
I think it was Kifo Kisimani, Mr. Hikimea.
Really?
Yeah. So but
I
didn't do them.
I didn't do
them. I read, I rehearsed, I practiced.
But you did
then
on stage.
I didn't go on stage.
Oh, yeah.
So when I was now the time for come back, show us what we've done. So I went on stage and I forgot all the lines.
It's never happened to me.
I started off well, then I forgot everything else.
Mm.
And so that the gurus who like had mastered everything, had crammed
Yeah.
all the lines, somebody just from backstage came in and picked up from where I'd left.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the end of, me and
Acting.
stage and set books and all those things. Yeah, so
Oh,
I had
yeah.
a very harsh introduction to stage life
Mm.
with set books. In fact, one of the directors told me, hey, dude, you can't be on stage.
Oi.
You keep moving like somebody wants to, go to the toilet. Please stay stationary. So I was like, oh, that was like it. I'm like,
Oh
I'm
my
not going
God.
back.
Alishusha 7 sim.
Yeah, uko chini ya meza. But that desire to be on stage was still, burning in me. And I still wanted to be like, I need
Yeah.
to do something. So like, if I can't be on stage acting, then what else can I do?
Mm.
So I found myself when these guys were preparing backstage to come and act for, students or the rest,
Yeah.
I'll be the one announcing. So coming on stage, ladies and gentlemen, and then that's now when I became an MC.
See.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So I found myself becoming an MC through that aspect of interacting with the guys on stage, announcing their plays. Yeah, and soon I was now the MC for events in campus. The culture weeks, the career weeks, and all that, the graduations.
Mm.
Yeah, and then from there, joined this organization with Richie
Yeah.
as an accountant. An
Very
events company. Yeah,
interesting.
so joining an events company as an accountant, again learning the ropes of managing an event, organizing an event, getting suppliers, sponsors, and all that.
Mm.
Then after that, I just ventured out with a colleague and just started our own events company.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how now I found myself doing events all around Nairobi, traveling out of Kenya doing events.
Yeah.
So that's my event story.
Hey, it's very interesting. You see, like, we need forums like this because now I would have known you've acted in set.
In
I
set
was-
books.
I act-
Yeah.
act-
Okay, and there's something interesting that both of you have said.
Mhm.
That there's that period after maybe campus or high school
Mm.
that sort of like birthed both of you to enter into this creative space. So it could be out of passion, you know, like you love what you did and all that.
Yeah.
But what do you think is the place for the arts, especially in schools? Like, I know a lot of parents don't really see the arts or creatives as this career that
Yeah.
their children will thrive in, but like a lot of us were in this drama clubs, this drama fest and all that. So what would you say is the role of having these things in schools that sort of like ushers us into this creative industry world? Yeah. You can start with you, Edu.
Thank you for starting with me. That's a very good question. So I would give a personal experience. For me, growing up, my dad was focused on us just getting it right with the books.
Yeah.
Go to school, study, read. And if you ask my primary school teachers or high school teachers, the kind of Edwin they experienced is a very reserved, shy, very chilled young boy. I wasn't this talkative. I wasn't this confident. And so, I would say the role of the creative arts or arts in school plays a critical, aspect in the growth of somebody, developing their confidence. Had I not challenged myself to go on stage and even start speaking on stage,
Yeah.
then this aspect of confidence wouldn't come in. I would still be that shy, naive, reserved, for this particular moment, man.
Yeah.
But that bit where I in high school I decided to like step up. I joined the scouting movement in high school, and that's then how I found myself in drum and music. And even me joining scouting was behind the scenes. Mzaya sijue. Like, I'm joining scouts, but he had made sure that there's nothing like scouts in this house. There's nothing like drama. There's nothing like music in this house. The only thing you can do that is close to you being in the public is debate.
Yeah.
So in fact, in Form 1, he asked me to join debate. But I think me pushing myself is just getting to that aspect of joining a creative space has allowed me to, one, be very confident, two, think on my feet. Like I'm able to create be it stories or narratives or scenarios
Yeah.
while I'm in that space. If I could walk into a meeting or a session, I'm able to express myself and think on my feet there and then. So it sort of transforms even the character of somebody,
Yeah.
that you're able now to understand how to interact with other people, how to ask questions confidently and ask the right questions, not be afraid to air your views
Yeah.
with other people. And I think the current age of, let me say, education or just doing life, and even in careers, you need to speak up.
Yeah.
People need to know that you exist. People need to know that you are there. Nobody's coming to ask you what you're good at. You have to prove yourself and show that I'm good at public speaking. I'm good at coding. I'm good at writing scripts. I can develop a speech for you. I'm good at announcing. Because you can find so many of the guys who are on TV right now didn't study media.
Yeah.
They studied something else, but the fact that they are good at speaking or reading notes and all that, they're able to now come on TV and read news for us. Yeah, so I think it develops quite a lot in the formative years of a child.
Yeah.
So for parents out there, if you see a kid is good at singing, don't shun that that skill. If they're good at drawing, don't tell them to focus. Yeah, it's good. Books are good. Of course, the papers are good.
Yeah.
But also nurture this other skill that they have that will help them grow even in future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, love that, Richie.
I think for me, I'm not going to go that direction. Because for me,
Your mom is watching.
so my mom could be watching. I think what the importance of art in schools, I think for me is from a skill perspective in terms of when I was in high school, there was, I think it was Kibaki who removed some of the courses for arts and stuff.
Yeah.
And that, I think that really had a dent in the creative industry in Kenya. So I think for creatives in high school, actually, I think we need more programs. Actually, we need actually more programs that are out here, that people actually get to interact after they have done their campus,
Yeah.
and then they realize, if when people are shooting, don't have to be on camera, don't have to be doing sound. You have to be, you can produce, you can help them do. You can help the technical guys do their thing. That is also being in the creative industry, and that is also being creative, because sometimes moving around these spaces requires you to be really fast on your feet.
Yeah.
I think we need more programs in schools, and I think it's sad for me that I got to realize about audio in campus.
Yeah.
I really wish I had realized it in high school. Yeah, because I really feel that I would be a bit far developed in terms of what I know. Because it's not that I don't know a lot. I know something, but it would be better if I had started earlier.
Yeah.
Because when you look at some other countries, you find that someone is very young but can actually teach me a lot of things.
Yeah.
You see, because they have interacted with these things for a very long time. Yeah, and they have the know-how and the discipline of just moving around in that industry.
Yeah.
So I feel we need more subjects. These subjects are courses nowadays.
Yeah.
Is it
more
subjects? We call them subjects.
Yeah, I think it's called
Yeah, we need more subjects in schools, starting from is it upper high school or
lower primary? I don't know.
There's this
This is so
JSS,
confusing.
JSS, junior
secondary
secondary,
school,
starting from JSS.
Okay.
Yeah, we need more of those, so that by the time they're getting to campus, they're really, it's just fine tuning what they know. Yeah, and for even for institutions like the companies here to bring them more in, to bring the kids in, so that they know what it takes, and they can even teach us a thing or two. Yeah.
Okay. I'll get back on the programs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd just like to ask, how long did it take for you
Mhm.
to start making money with your crafts or with this passion or whatever you are doing? Because I know there is a lot of nitakulipa na exposure kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I just like us to discuss a bit about the support
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
get, especially when you're starting out.
Mm.
Hii hata
Be
nimekaa
it
vizuri.
an MC, be it an MC,
Yeah.
be it someone who's doing sound, be it a musician. You know, let's talk about this. How long did it take for you to start being paid?
Well, I think we need to define first.
Mm.
Oh,
monetary payment.
Yeah, well, there's monetary payment.
Yeah.
Then there's good money, and then there's
Oh,
just
and there's-
money.
There's just money.
And there's just
there's
survival.
stipend,
there's just survival, there's stipend.
appreciation.
Yeah. And then there's just a lot of things that happen in the creative industry,
Yeah.
especially the event space when you're starting off, and people take advantage of you
Yeah.
a lot. Because I remember when you're starting off as an MC, we could hear of budgets being passed for MCs. You know, like the MC for the grand finale will be paid 10,000 shillings. At that point,
This
I'm
is
in
in campus?
Yeah, this is in
Okay.
campus. You know, and that's a lot of money.
Mm.
But the money that comes to you is 500 shillings.
Guy, no.
Yeah. And you've done a full night of engaging students, jumping in the rain and all those things. And then you're given 500 shillings
Yeah.
or 1,000 shillings.
Oh, yeah.
But some people above you, you know, up the
Mm.
ladder have actually, you know, taken home some quite a bit.
Mm.
So I think I started earning immediately as an MC,
Okay.
but it wasn't the right, you know,
Amount.
of money.
Yeah.
It was 500 shillings. Well, sometimes we would be told like, hey, pesa imeisha, hakuna do, you know.
Mzee ndo iliisha.
Hey, premium tears.
There's
Richie
nothing you
is
can do.
traumatized.
There's nothing you can do. No imeisha. Wewe ushapiga event, umemsi Friday night usiku yote.
You
Yeah.
can't take it back.
You can't take it back.
Tilete hii MC ni yangu nile nayo.
Wewe tulikuwa nayo wapi juzi tukia sasa kiambatio na kuvuta nini? So, tuwaliza gig, then tunaambua now kuna pesa, like it was on a light note. Hakuna do. Then msa akasema mimi delete photos.
Uta delete photos.
DJ akasema lucky you.
Yes, delete.
Ashacheza.
Ashacheza. Utashafurahi.
Yeah.
But DJ ni mnoma. Na ni hivyo.
Yeah, so but I started earning immediately, I can
Yeah.
say so. From my first gig, at least I was paid, but it wasn't the right amount of money.
Yeah.
I think I started earning good money way after campus, way after I'd started my own company.
So this is even
Yeah.
after working in
After
another
working,
company.
Yes.
Oh, how long was that?
That was like
10 years?
8 years.
8
thereabout.
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's when like I earned good money from my craft. Like I've gone out, I've pitched to a client, and they've paid me, and this is my money.
And is this your events business or Edu the MC?
So
Like your craft?
Edu the MC is also an organization.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, which is true.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is also.
Yeah.
So that's what you're talking
That's
about.
what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay,
So when I ventured out
Yeah.
as this organization, as an MC,
Yeah.
then that's when I earned good money
Mm.
for my craft.
Okay.
Previously, I would do events here and there, but they wouldn't pay as per my skill, the value that I'm bringing to the table.
Okay. And how do they gauge that?
So that's a topic for another day. But if you
Okay.
have time, we can
Yeah.
get into that. Because ideally, even for us as MCs, we kind of should change ourselves.
Yeah.
You pitch for a gig, and when the client negotiates, we are afraid of losing that client. So we take whatever is on the table.
Okay.
They say they'll pay you 2,000 shillings, and you're MCing the entire day, and you're like, ni sawa tu, I will do it.
Yeah.
But that's not it. That's not the value you bring on the table. You're bringing more than just being an MC. You are coordinating the entire event.
Yeah.
You're running the program.
Yeah.
In fact, at some point, you end up becoming the head usher.
Yeah.
Stories are weddings.
Mm.
You end up becoming
You're
the head
also
usher.
needing people.
Negotiator
And
for
then
bride
you
price. Hey.
Negotiating bride price.
Yeah. Hey.
You know.
Yeah.
So the value they pay you, sometimes we should change ourselves
Yeah.
in terms of we are afraid to lose that client because we don't know when the next client will come. And this is just my advice to even upcoming MCs.
Mm.
You will always get business. So don't be afraid to lose that client.
Yeah.
You know, bill as per your skill, as per your value.
Mm.
And you know, yeah, you lose the client, well and good. Go and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell guys.
Yeah.
Lale.
Yeah.
The next gig will come.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Richie, you look triggered, first of
I
all.
was- umesema mambo ya sijui exposure trigger.
Umelipa na exposure mara ngapi?
We really struggled. That as in that company that we started, we really struggled. I remember there was a time we were about to lose this client. He was paying us 20,000 shillings for shooting a team building for an entire day, editing it, and like
Shooting
turnover
like
should be
camera.
1 day. Yeah,
Shooting on camera.
on camera, like
Okay.
multiple, like 3 cameras.
Yeah.
We run around with the clients, we shoot it, and turn around should be the next day.
So that means we have a crew team. Like,
Yes, we had a crew. So turnaround should be the next day.
And the pay was 20K.
20K.
What?
But you know, as in for us, he was our first client. Like
Yeah.
he took, we felt that he took a risk on us.
Mm.
So we did 20,000 for a couple of times. And then just one day we were like,
Hii hapana.
now tuongeze bei.
tuongeze pesa bada.
So the moment we had that discussion with him, he turned like he was like, we are cutting this thing off.
Ah.
Yeah, this tunamaliza. I remember I was me and my friend. We were the last dinner. It was at Carnival with the clients. So we were there, and then my friend was like, "Ukushua, Richie, ukushua tukate
Yeah.
client." Come
Yeah.
tukate. That was a grave mistake.
What? But
Because
you're saying you peanuts.
let
Okay,
me
fine.
tell you, the drought season
The
that
drought
came
season just
after, we didn't have clients like for like a year. It was bad.
Mm.
I remember that's a long story. So I think for creatives, actually, so for me as a sound tech, I really struggled with actually what Edwin is saying, like equating value for money. Because for me, someone was explaining, for me, these things come really easy for me.
Yeah.
Like just coming, shooting, editing,
Yeah.
and it's like, because I've done it.
Nature.
It's second nature. I've done it for. So for me, it looks very easy, and I feel,
It's like a passion.
like
Yeah.
I don't feel this is too much work.
Yeah.
But someone is like, this, you should be paid good money for this
For
because
this.
you have.
Yeah.
So I tend to forget how much time I've taken trying to learn this type of skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the laptop that I'm using, I tend to forget all that. So we most people really struggle with equating value for money and the work and money.
Yeah.
For me, it took some time. I remember the first check I was given. I'm not even check the quote I wrote. I was with my wife. She was like, "Andika." I was looking at her. I'm like, so in my heart I'm like, nataka tu atoke hii kwa hii room niandike ile pesa nataka ndio ichukuliwe haraka. She was just there waiting. I wrote it, tuma, like I just sent it. So in my heart I'm like, sitapata hii kazi imeenda tu hivyo. And then they're like,
You're underquoting?
no.
Oh, okay.
They were like, come.
Oh.
It's like, what? I can be paid this amount of money.
Yeah.
Hey, I was so excited. Hey. And then now I got another job where, you know, when you give a contract, you read it twice, you know, like, are they sure they're going to give me this much?
Yeah.
As in, for just doing this, you know. And I wasn't even like the head.
Yeah.
I was like huku chini.
Mm.
I was like, I took that money really fast.
Mm.
And then in the company line, I got to realize like
You're
huko
even
chini.
being paid.
I am underpaid.
Very kidogo.
You know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
for me, I'm like, huko nimelipwa. Yeah. Yeah, but it took me a while actually to get paid, like really good. But I think for me, it's always a learning curve. Yeah, it's always a learning curve. With what Edu is saying, like it's really hard to say no to a client when your back is against the wall. Like when you know this is the only money that I
Yeah.
can get.
Mm.
And next week I don't know where else. But the saddest part about that is nikipatia huo client, if I agree that amount to that
I
client,
know, yeah.
they will never give you
Yeah,
more
they'll
money.
never
Yeah.
give you more
They
money.
will never give you more
That's
money.
that's your value.
Yeah, that's your
Yeah.
value. They will
Mm.
never give you money. And sadly, I've worked with people who actually if you quote less, they actually think your work is substandard.
Mm.
Yes. So
So
you
they
better
equate
quote high.
high value
Yeah.
with
It's
like
easier for
your
them to
value.
say. It's
Yeah,
better
with
for
your
them to
mind.
say, "Hey, we can't afford him,"
Yeah.
than for them to say, "Hey, this guy is like he's."
Are you sure?
Are you sure? I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think Jobek is poor.
Mm.
Let's just get someone who's renowned and some. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's
And we are both
interesting.
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how can we support we can say creatives
Mm.
and like where is the balance between like for me now as a creative
Mm.
coming in with the expectation of okay mimi ni creative mnafaa kunilipa hii do okay like you're just starting out
Yeah.
so there is that but there is also for clients or for anyone out there how then do they support us as creatives?
Mm.
Yeah.
I think what I have with that,
Mm.
I've had that similar discussion with like, because I used to teach at ADMI.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to tell my students, right now people don't respect papers in the creative
Ooh.
industry.
Mm.
It's a people don't respect papers. You can come to me, tell me you have gone to do Berkeley and stuff, but at the end of the day, I want to see your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I want to see your work. What have you done?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything that you do, even if you're a creative, even it's editing, SFX, VFX, anything that you do, post them online.
Yeah.
Yeah, post them online every day. Create an account and post it there every day. I've known a couple of people who have got really big jobs, like from zero to a very big job because of what they have
been posted.
Yeah, because that is what the client is looking for.
Yeah.
And they actually know the cost of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before you start asking for the money and all that,
yeah, let me see your work
have
first.
a thing going on for
Yeah,
yourself.
have a thing going on for yourself.
Yeah.
And right now it's not so hard to have a thing going on for yourself.
You can build your own website.
You can build your own website.
Do it
yes.
on social media.
You can even I think for me the easiest place to volunteer is the church. Yes. Because sadly the church always wants free things.
Yeah, always.
Yes, it's sad to say.
Well, that's another conversation.
But
But
it's the easiest place to volunteer.
Yeah.
And they will accept you with both arms.
Yeah.
You're a creative, you can give it us for free.
Yeah.
Come. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because if you're a sound engineer, you get to practice every day.
Single Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday prayers, you are there. You're working with that console each and every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely, it's not the best console in the world.
Yeah, it's not likely the best console in the
all
world.
the challenges you can find.
Exactly. You're being trained troubleshooting, dealing with hard clients, dealing with as in your
things that they just don't work.
Inakupiga character.
Yes, character development.
Mpaka sasa
so by the time you're coming out to the corporate world, where things are working, where you are asking for a digital console and they just bring it to you, you're like, this is easier. Yeah.
Okay.
I think just volunteer somewhere or just use what you have and post it online.
Yeah.
Show it to us.
Okay.
It's for free. Yeah.
And how can now people like now clients or whatever support us as creatives? Like should they how can they support us more in the sense that they stop taking advantage of of people and stuff like that? Yeah.
I think for me, I usually have a very different idea on the support.
Okay.
Because I don't want to support you. I want you to do the work and you go home.
Okay, that's the kind of support. Like, when I know you have a business,
yes,
I give you business. I'm supporting your business.
You know, most people who come with the angle of I want you to support me is
it's the exposure.
It's not even the exposure. They are not putting the effort
Okay.
into their craft.
Okay.
So they come and say, please, I just want you to support me. Put in the effort. What makes you different from the other person?
Okay.
Because if I'm a client and you are doing, let's say, makeup, trust me, I have gone on Instagram. I've just searched makeup artist.
Yeah.
You know how many people have come there?
Yeah, so many.
So many people. And Cayte will come and say, Mazee Richini support wewe bishti yangu. Maybe just because you're a friend. But if I want a good work done, I'll go for someone who I know. And sadly, if I have the money, I'll go for the most expensive person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just you there are so many ways you can apply yourself apart from support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's so many ways. Maybe the only place that I can say that support is you are really good and you don't have a job.
Yeah.
You don't have a job. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa, Edu?
Yeah, I think I'll say for the bit of corporates is, as creatives, most of the time we are overlooked as informal, kind of people who operate in the informal sector. But do you know we are consultants, just like any other consultant?
Yes.
Just like you'd hire a trainer, just like you'd hire an IT expert, just like you'd hire an HR consultant. That's the same way you're hiring this DJ. He's coming as a consultant to your gig or to your event.
Yeah.
You're having a staff party. That DJ is a consultant.
Yeah.
So the same kind of respect you'll give a HR consultant, the same kind of respect you'll give maybe a strategy trainer, also accord that same respect to this DJ or to this master of ceremony or to this event planner,
Yeah.
to this person who's providing flowers for that event. Because as Richie is putting it, they've gone through a process of refining their act and their skill. By the time they're coming to you, or by the time you're getting to interact with them, they know what they're doing. By the time somebody's setting up these flowers in this kind of design, they know what the theme of the day is. They know what the colors are needed for the set. They know how to place this thing correctly for it to look good on camera. So this is a consultant who's helping you do what you ideally, in quotes, will not do or cannot do. Because if then you're not appreciating their skill and appreciating where they come from, then you could as well go ahead and DJ. And then you'll realize DJ is not as easy.
Yeah.
It is not just, bring this song and then put them together.
And doing like this.
And doing like this. So the moment now our, corporate clients will appreciate that these guys are not just juakali people, for lack of a better word, but they're actually consultants who are coming to help us achieve our goal as an organization. Then we can be able to, for your word, support this craft and support these people.
Yeah.
Secondly, now on the reverse side of now us as creatives, just again chiming on Richie as mentioned, let us improve on our skill. It takes time. I can't compare myself to somebody who's been in the industry for 20 years.
Yeah.
I'll be lying. That guy has gone through almost every single event there is to be done, ideally. They know how to manage an event. They know how to manage time. They know how to manage clients.
Yeah.
They know how to brand themselves. They know how to speak the correct, words during an event. They know how to interact with the audience. So even for us as we are coming in as creatives, let us show our skill, and then our skill will prove our value. Because if you come in with mediocre in terms of your skill, then that's how people are able to negotiate and pay you peanuts. And they're going to accept that because you're not ready for that gig.
Yeah.
So continuously, improve on your skill, continuously learn new things. There's ChatGPT right now. There's AI. Go there and ask AI, what can I do to develop my skill? As an MC, what can I do differently for this gig? And AI will give you a good scenario. In fact, you can give it as many prompts as possible for it to generate even the event itself and tell you, at this event, talk about areas in this way. So use whatever resources around you. Could be AI, could be mentors, could be friends. Again, volunteering is a good space. The gigs I've been able to do, not just as an MC, but as an event manager or floor manager, I started by doing them in church. So in church, I'd volunteer as a stage manager for the church. And from there, somebody sees my skill and they're like, hey, you guys, there's an event coming up. And I've done events of 10,000 people. I've done events of 6,000 people. I've done comedy shows, where you manage and, the client trusts you that you can deliver. Because of the space I was at, able to volunteer in and, again, hone my skill. as an events person.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
I think something Edu has said in terms of support from creative to creative.
Mm.
I really believe in like sharing information.
Yes.
God didn't give us this information for us to die with it.
Yeah.
You know, like find someone and share it with them.
Mm.
I think I believe usimlipishe, like
Yeah.
mpatie tu.
Mm.
You know, if someone has the zeal and has the interest, give it to them.
Yeah.
For free. Like
Mm.
if they can, have them shadow you.
Yeah.
Have them shadow you everywhere you go. Show them the ins and outs. They don't have to go through the same loopholes that you went through. Shows them the ins and outs so that by the time you are like, do creatives even retire? I don't know.
There's no retirement.
By the time you are in your 50s,
Yeah.
they are thriving and,
Yeah.
and they can look back and them themselves will share the information.
Yes.
They'll pass it down.
Yeah.
Slowly. And I'm a big believer is even as you are sharing information with them, they will also teach you something that you don't know.
Yeah.
I have lived through that. Like there are times that I call my students. Like by the way, I have this thing, I don't know how it works. And they actually help me out because with these new technologies, these guys are really they're really up there. So just share the information that you have. Share it freely if you can. Share it freely if you can. Yeah.
I think both of you have brought out two aspects which I'd like us to also talk about, and one is this creative to creative support. I think we are not so good at it, especially as Kenyans. We want to hoard to go like I want to do events by myself, and it's almost like if someone else comes, it's like the cake becomes smaller. That sort of mentality. But how then can we shift from the scarcity mentality of I don't want to share, I don't want to, and I find this a lot, especially like in the music industry. And I think the reason why film is starting like to really thrive is because of the communities that people are forming. Like they are helping each other out, they are coming together, let's do this film, let's like they are really creating spaces whereby they can like support each other. But I haven't really seen that like in music, whereby there's a lot of competition. This one wants to be more of a star than this other one, that kind of a thing. And it's sadly like unhealthy competition. It's not like the competition that I'm seeing Richie really doing some excellent stuff. I wanna fika there. Like that's healthy competition as compared to Richie squeezing anajifanyanga star. I don't want, like, and then when I go to Richie, he's also like pushing me back, like now he's not rolling or hanging out with us, I will make
the struggling folk. Peasants.
Poor peasants, my goodness. So anyway, so how then can we break out of that scarcity mindset and really just realize that the cake is enough for everyone? It's too big. Even if like there are events every single day, honestly, like during the weekdays it's corporate events, weekends there's like a wedding, there's a rorashio, there's
even weekdays.
I mean, like there's all that, and then I think the good thing with events is also that there are different players within it. Like you cannot do one event alone. If it's let's say planning a rorashio, you have to like include a florist, a sound, a DJ, whatever person. So then how can we really break out of that scarcity mindset and embrace community sharing,
One of the things we found out when we were launching out as a company is when you're starting off as events organizers, especially in Nairobi, we didn't find guys who'd mentor us in the right way. We didn't find guys who'd like tell us this is what you do. Or even a school where you would go and learn, purely events
Events
organizing,
management.
events management. Of course, there are courses being offered around events management and hospitality and all that, but it's a lot of theory in those courses. But we didn't find a space where we'll go in and get somebody who walks with you and tells you in an event you need to know how the screens work.
Yeah. And how many screens you
How
need.
many screens you need.
Yeah.
You just rock up and like, I need screens, but don't know how they work. If a client was to ask you, so how are those panels connected?
Yeah.
You have no idea. You're like, yeah, that's a screen.
Mm.
In fact, that's one screen, but they're like 100 panels,
Yeah, how many panels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't find that. And our desire, even as we were starting off, was to ensure that the guys who come after us are able to learn from us, just like Rich was mentioning, that you handhold somebody, you walk with them through the seasons, through the different clients, through the different pitch sessions, boardroom meetings, to the site visits, and to the execution of the event.
Yeah.
Because that's critical for the industry to grow. And like you mentioned, in the film industry, they're thriving because they've realized there's no monopoly of ideas.
Yes.
Everybody has an idea. Right now, I see producers producing multiple films in a season. I see script writers writing like 12 scripts for 12 different films.
Yeah.
And that's, collaboration a lot. Guys will go for a retreat just to develop a script for one film. In fact, the other day we just dropped into a script session for a movie, a film that's coming up about the Bible. The crazy aspect of the Bible, like Jesus walked on water. How?
That's interesting.
You
Yeah.
know.
Fed 5,000 two fish and
Wow.
5,000 fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
talked to 5,000 people.
5,000 exactly.
How?
How?
Na kukuwa na
How
microphone.
can a microphone?
So, a PA system.
So such kind of collaborations. And one thing I've come to realize in the 12 years I've been in the industry, there is cake for everybody. Like you can't supply your services to all the corporates in Nairobi.
Yes.
We've been in this thing. We've been doing team buildings for the last 12 years, 14 years actually, and we have not supplied every organization in Nairobi. Leave around just the CBD.
Yeah.
We haven't even touched 50%, even 40% of the CBD alone. And they're like multiple, almost like 100 or even more than that, team building companies doing the same thing that we do in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And we're in this forum where it's a team building facilitators association, and we talk about these things. Like we are there, like almost like 300 people, facilitators of team building, and everybody says they've not exhausted all the clients in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Leave alone Kenya, just Nairobi.
Nairobi.
So there's room, there's market for every single one of us. Even the guys are joining in tomorrow.
Yeah.
You want to step into team building, you want to step into events, there's room for you.
Yeah.
But the only way we can ensure that we are good as an industry, creative economy, is we support each other.
Yeah.
Because if Richie is doing a bad job, then they say our two events,
Yeah.
buyer.
Yeah.
But if Richie is doing a good job and I'm doing a good job, then the reputation of the creative economy, events industry, is uplifted.
Yeah.
So there's room for collaboration. There's room for mentorship. There's room for don't hold on to that information saying if I teach Richie how to
Or gatekeeping.
he'll then come and take my clients.
Yeah.
One thing I know is and Richie mentioned this, that creatives never retire because creativity is in the mind. Whatever I'm supplying to my client, I bet you, whether you come in with a different strategy, you can't do the way I do it.
Yes. Even if I steal your idea.
Even if you steal my idea,
Yeah.
you can't execute as I would have executed it. Maybe it could be better, but there's something different that I'm offering to that client.
Yeah. Okay. Richie?
I think for me, I'm really proud to be in a group of audio-visual engineers in Nairobi, actually in Kenya. We have been a union for, I think, 6 years now. Yeah. And I've seen the growth of that, of like audio AV engineers in Kenya, like from that group. Like we all know each other. Like we don't have to be hanging out, but we know each other, everyone. Like if anyone has a problem, they just put it in the group and someone has. If anyone like gets a job, like 2 jobs, you know how someone can get 2 jobs at one day? Just post it on the group, say, I need someone to go here. Someone can go there and you get paid. Like I think that really has helped. There are some bad apples, in these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those people who try and undercut people and stuff.
With corn or
But
whatever, yeah.
as Edward said, the cake is too big. I think it's even instilled in the Bible. Like, it's a God of abundance. Like, yani ni mingi sana, haitaisha. Like, like, it's funny that even Edu's company, they need team building.
Yeah.
Who's going to do it?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as in, yeah.
That's funny. Like
I
in
know.
this company.
They need
Who
team
do
building.
team building? They do
Someone,
team building.
they'll go out,
And they
source
can't
for
employ
someone.
themselves.
They can't
to
employ
do
themselves.
We
team
can't team
building.
build ourselves.
Yeah, they can't team build themselves
Yeah.
because now they need something fresh.
Yeah.
So they'll go look for the most weirdest company. They pay them and they sit back and they get
Yeah.
services done. Yeah, so there is the cake is too big. I think at the core it's individual. A friend of mine usually says ni problem ya kuwa number one. Like,
yes.
tuliambiwa lazima tukue number one.
Number one.
So that's why we keep on cutting each other on the traffic. We want to be so we try and hide information
Yeah.
to ourselves. We want to be number one. So I think it's
Number one syndrome.
number one syndrome. It's in your 844 system. That was, I think,
Mungu tusaidie.
so
That's incredible. Number one
Yeah.
thing.
niyo kukuwa number one. So
Yeah.
I think it's mental. So the moment, actually, if I got people who have actually realized that, that's where they say the cake was too big.
It's too big.
The cake is too big, and let's just share.
Yeah.
The
let's
moment we share,
collaborate.
it's gonna
Yeah.
thrive. Yeah, but I'm happy for the creative industry in Kenya. It's growing,
Yeah.
and I've seen it growing.
Yeah.
And if you can get right into it when it's on the second floor, yeah,
Yeah.
because where it's going, it's
I
It's
know.
gonna
Yeah.
be big.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be big. We haven't even scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just to add on to that, we are actually growing, and there's a lot that is happening that is on the positive. I did a
Yes.
project in 2023 where I was going around the country, in campuses. I would go to Nakuru. I don't know anybody who does sound or who has gear in Nakuru. I'd post in a group, hey, I need gear for an event in Nakuru on Friday. And somebody would give me their gear. In fact, I'd go pick the gear, go use it in that campus. I don't know that person. They don't trust me. They don't know who I am. I go use the gear, return, pay the person. I go to Meru, Embu, same thing. In a group, hey, I need gear in Meru. Somebody posts there, I have gear, come and pick and all that. I'd go to Mombasa, same thing. Go to Kisumu, same thing. So that collaboration is what's needed. Like, you don't need to sort of keep everything, but just collaborate with each other.
Okay, so even as we wind up, I mean, like, we haven't even discussed.
I told you, need
half
3
of-
hours.
we need a part 2. But maybe just as we wind up is, and this is like the second thing I wanted to talk about, which was, you mentioned that there is Edu, the person, but there's Edu, the company, or like the business.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of the creatives people, the creatives or the creative people have really put structures within themselves. Like, how do you set up yourself for success, especially as a creative? You know, there are these things about opening like a business, taxes, you know, like such things. So briefly, let's just talk about that. Like, how can we as creatives set us, structures in our lives, for success?
And that's quite important for any person who wants to earn an income and just thrive and scale and be sustainable.
As a creative.
Okay. I could be biased or privileged because I have a background in finance and commerce.
Okay.
So for me, that came like, it is something I need to do when I'm starting off. So even when I was now stepping out as an MC, first thing is I registered my company for MCs. And my vision was, this company is not for Edu. This company is for, if clients need MCs, they can come to Event Masters and get MCs from Event Masters, So
Okay,
I set up
that's
that company
interesting.
as for event MCs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what if you weren't setting up for event MCs, will you still have set up
Yeah.
a company or a business aside from Edu the MC?
I
And why
would.
is that important?
I would. I don't think there's any business I do that is in my sort of. Don't know how to explain it, but I would say it allows you to be structured because you can set up a business name. For example, you can say Edwin Mutoro Corporation. So that's my business name,
Yes.
and that business name is able to get into contracts with other organizations.
Okay.
So it helps you to sort of write quotations in that business name. It makes you look professional.
Okay.
When a client asks you for a quotation, you're able to like do professional done quotations. And you don't really have to like form a very big company, limited company. Just register a business name. It sets you apart from the others. When clients ask you for payment details, like, this guy, by the way, he's structured. He has some systems going on. He has a bank account different from his bank account. Maybe he has a pay bill different from his pay bill, or a till number different from his phone number. There's a website for him that you can go and look at, at for his work. He has a business profile where he's showcasing his skills and the clients he's worked with for. So it helps you actually structure yourself.
Yeah.
Then also, as creatives, again, we are sort of mixed up in so many things. You end up mixing your finances, personal finances and business finances. So
Someone
how do
paid you for a gig.
Like,
Is that
that's
personal?
so this M-Pesa came in, nani,
Yeah.
But if you have that structure and you formed an organization or a business account, and that money always goes to that account, you're able to track, okay, this is my business income, these are my business expenses, this is how, in fact, even paying taxes, this is how much I'm returning to the government. If you don't have those structures, separate from the individual who's Edu, then I'll mix up my M-Pesas, be like, nilitumwa dona mtu, sijui ni nani.
Okay, you might even know.
Yeah, you might even know, but
now
they are intertwined because
yeah.
again, you're spending on a daily basis. You're fueling, you're buying airtime, you're buying food, you're going for meetings. So which meeting is business meeting?
Yeah.
I've come here, maybe I've Ubered. So was this a business Uber or a personal Uber?
Okay.
So just putting the boundaries between
Yeah.
your finances as well. And again, I'm biased because I have the finance background.
Yes.
So I'm looking at it from an accounting perspective, how to separate the finances. But it's critical that we separate what we do as a craft and what we do as a hobby. Because sometimes, even as we do these things, is it a business or is it a hobby? You end up mixing the two and becomes a very expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything to add?
Just kidogo, what he has said, I've been a victim of that. Yeah. So, but so I think for me, the finance part is really good. Plus, it also helps with like future, like you future-proof yourself. Because the business is not only for you, for your family as well.
Yeah.
So when someone else comes in, they can track how the growth and how it comes in. I think also in terms of business, the creatives need to know the law, the legal part that is surrounding that. I think because I used to be teaching at DMI, I've seen a lot of artists who do projects because of it's fun. Yeah, and then they put random pictures on the album art, and then when they get signed, now it becomes a problem.
Because of IP stuff.
Because of IP.
Okay.
So it's as you're doing your craft, also get to know the law.
Yeah.
I think that's why I usually say, I used to tell my students, if you're an artist in ADMI, because in ADMI they have all these classes. If you're an artist and you sing, you have everyone involved in your team that you need in your team in this school. A bunch of friends. Get your sound engineer, get your recording engineer, get your lawyer.
School.
Yeah, get your lawyer.
Yeah.
Because all of you right there are struggling.
Yeah.
So if you grow together, because you'll grow together like really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get an accountant later outside if you want. Because as you're starting from the ground floor, start right. Yeah. Know the legal space, know the financial space, how to grow it, and always have a team. Always have a team. Don't go at it solo.
Alone.
Plus, you don't have to get people who are like renowned. Just get your friends. Your friends who's a lawyer, a graphic artist, anyone who's doing these things together. Have that team and grow together. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now you've even said something. I was just like, wow, I wish we talked about this and this and this and this, which was like the IP stuff. Now that's a whole other thing.
Part 2 will do
So
it
we
later.
definitely need like a part 2. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really hope that you got to understand what the creative business entails and how to set yourself up for success. Yeah. And hopefully we're gonna have a part 2. Yeah. But until then, God bless you and have an amazing month of May. Oh, and happy Labor Day. Yeah, I almost forgot to wish you guys a happy Labor Day. As you can see, there are people here laboring for the country
We're the guys
in the
pushing this
creative
economy.
industry. And you're also laboring for the Lord, but your
Amen.
reward is in heaven.
Amen.
No, I'm reward right now.
Yeah, so anyway, happy Labor Day. Enjoy your holiday and also enjoy the month of May. So bye bye.